Hey guys, so I saw a video about talking about this, and I love Naruto, so I heard about I heard about this a while ago, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll wait till a little more information's come out, but that doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon. So, we're at that park place. Rumor: Lionsgate live-action Naruto film is a complete disaster, with producers not knowing anything about the IP, because that's exactly what us fans want. It's like Dragon Ball Evolution. When you take a beloved IP that people have been loving for decades, it just makes sense to have someone write it who has no idea what they're doing. Um, this is the man who played King Piccolo. But nowadays we know him as Zamasu. Um, he felt so bad that the the movie sucked as bad as it did. It's like he offered to play the role of Zamasu for free because he felt so bad. He was like, I need to atone for my past mistakes. Um, and so because of him, we have the voice of one of the coolest characters that have really ever been introduced. Um, but that movie, oh my god. That movie is so bad. It is so bad. It is so terrible. And to think that Naruto would possibly get that same treatment, I know. Rumor claims that Gate's long gestating live-action Naruto film is a complete disaster, with producers not knowing anything about the IP. That's pretty cool. You got Sasuke back there, and there's Sakura right down there. Or actually, I should say I'm as American as possible and pretend like I'm not a fan of the show. So there's Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, or Sakura. So it's Sakura. And then I guess Kakashi would still be Kakashi because there's no way of really messing up his name. Um, Uzumaki Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto. Uh, Uchiha Sasuke. This rumor comes from Matt McGloin at Cosmic Book News, who shared that his insiders informed him the film is a complete disaster and it is on the level of Dragon Ball Evolution or even as bad as what Lionsgate is doing to the Crow reboot. Yeah, the Crow reboot. Nope. McGloin added, those who are working on Naruto don't have a clue in the world. It's so bad that those working on the movie don't even know who the villains of the characters are. Yet they're developing the movie. I mean, if you're going to make a live action Naruto movie, it's best to start at the beginning. So you would have Mizuki. I mean, that's when you have like one of the most badass moments. Naruto's taking the scroll, and there's a whole with him and Iruka and Mizuki, and Naruto shows that he can do the shadow clone. He busts out like 1,000 of them. Um, so to the beginning, I guess that would be a great point to start. Not have Mizuki as like the freaking villain, but um they're just developing Naruto to take advantage of the built-in audience, but don't know anything about the IP and don't respect the source material or the fans, he stated. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes every time now. They take an IP just because they think, oh, well, people love this, so they're going to come see it anyway. After Dragon Ball Evolution, no one is going to go see this when they know that time. So, not only Dragon Ball Evolution, but that terrible freaking Death Note movie completely bastardized the anime and the manga. Everything that we loved about Death Note, they completely ruined. They completely ruined. No one trusts live action anime adaptations anymore. We just don't, because they've been spoiled and ruined so many times. Lionsgate has been developing a live-action Naruto since 2015. At the time that Michael Grayson was going to direct the adaptation, and Lionsgate was in negotiation for the film rights to the Naruto series, written and illustrated by Masashi Kishimoto. At the time of the initial announcement, it was revealed Avi Arad and his son Ari Arad were producing alongside Eric Feig, Jeff to whatever, Kelly O'Malley. Yeah, this moment right here, this was so awesome. But of course, this would all be CGI. And more recently, Boris Kidd at The Hollywood Reporter in February noted that the Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings director, Destin Daniel Cretton, had boarded the film as director, writer, and producer. It noted that both Arads are still producing, but they are joined with Jayun Munford, MEU, and Jeremy Latcham. Lionsgate also secured a glowing statement from Kishimoto, who said, "When I heard of Destin's attachment, it happened to be right after watching a blockbuster action film of his, and I thought he would be perfect to director for Naruto. After enjoying his other films and understanding that his forte is in creating solid dramas about people, I became convinced that there is no other director for Naruto. In actually meeting Destin, I also found him to be an open-minded director who is willing to embrace my input and felt strongly that we would be able to cooperate together in the production process." And this is Kishimoto saying this. I mean, it's kind of like the FNAF movie. You know, it turned out so well because Scott was like right there. He's like, unless we're doing it my way, we're not doing it. He revised the script so many times, changing production studios because he wanted it to be perfect. He didn't want someone taking it who wouldn't respect his work and then just putting some just crap product out simply because it's like, oh, well, we know people are going to go see it. You know, when Scott wanted the fans of Five Nights at Freddy's to go see a movie and see Five Nights at Freddy's, not some slop fest of, oh, well, we just threw this together because we have the rights to do so. So that's what we need. We need Kishimoto to be there or in some way inputting, because if you're going to make a Naruto movie and a live action, it needs to be good. It needs to respect the source material. The characters need to remain the same. So it's like Naruto, if you suddenly make him a jackass for no reason, that's not going to work. Because clearly you don't understand Naruto's, character. Lionsgate Motion Picture Group Chair Adam don't care also commented at the time, "This manga classic is beloved by millions of fans all around the world, and Destin has delivered a vision for the movie that we believe will excite the massive fan base as well as those who are new to it." He added, "Avi and I have had the pleasure of working together before, and I know that as we collaborate with Destin and the team on Naruto, we are in extraordinary hands." That was it. "What do you make of this rumor that Lionsgate live action Naruto is a complete disaster?" I believe it. I believe it. Believe it! All the animated Naruto movies are standalone and self-contained for a reason, because telling this massive story is impossible in one movie. Seriously, Rurouni Kenshin got 5 live-action movies, and Attack on Titan had 2. And they barely cover shit in those 2 movies. Anime doesn't work in live action. The Japanese can't do it, and it that's not exactly true. Like, if you go on YouTube right now, it's free right now, but there's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure live action. It's really good. It's really good. Some of the Death Note ones are live actions, like the kind of like retelling of Death Note, but like live action, where they stick true to the anime. It's really good. So it can work It's just, you know, so like Naruto is basically like Harry Potter, but just ninjas. So the visual effects will be just as believable as they were in Harry Potter, I think. You know, when you went to see Harry Potter, you didn't really question it. You know, you saw these spells waving around and and these weird things happening, but instead of a wand, just replaced a wand with, that crap, and you get water and fire and you know, um so it's still grounded in not grounded in reality, but a lot better than say Dragon Ball, where people are flying around and they're like punching the earth and huge craters are being formed. And but even then they had so much source material to work with. How do you mess it up? Like, we're gonna take Goku but make him not Goku, but we're gonna name him Goku even though he's nothing like Goku. But oh, hey, here's Bulma, she looks nothing like Bulma, acts nothing like, but she's got a little blue in her hair, so that's Bulma, remember? It was terrible. Terrible. Cowboy Bebop, I mean, if it wasn't for them basically telling fans to F off and, more time and dedication going into the production and the product itself rather than pushing narratives and making characters not like who they actually are, like Faye. Like, they completely fucked her up. She's a beloved character, a strong, independent woman, and they completely fucked her up in the live action. And then you have Ed at the very end, and it just shows that a live action Ed just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. That was the most, I don't want to say cringe, but it was. I was like, as I was watching, I was like, oh god, oh please make it stop. Um, so like there are some things like Ed, it just, the way they're animated and their personality, it just doesn't translate well to live action. But Naruto has a chance of working well if you get the right people to do it. But this is also one reason why I don't want a Zelda live action. If they do a Zelda movie, I want it to be more like the Mario movie, where it's like CGI, but like close to looking like real life, but still got the style of the game, depending on which game they're taking inspiration from. Um, but I want to see that. I don't want to see a live action Zelda. I don't. I love. I mean, I love Zelda. I love Zelda. I don't want to see a live action Zelda movie. Um, I'm thinking that Woke no Jutsu is not going to save this. Oh god, that's terrible. I'd say I'm surprised, but what, but that would be a lie. I'm just waiting for Lizzo to be cast as Tsunade and John Boyega, uh, as Naruto, and who dies 2 seconds in, and then focus switches to Daisy Ridley as Sakura. That's so terrible, but it's hilarious. Um, but yeah, it's a really, yeah, the manga always had really awesome art. You got Naruto and the third Hokage and the Hokage. Um, yeah, like this moment right here. This is a huge moment not only in the manga but in the anime. You have Naruto, who can barely make clones, taking just we don't know how much time passed, but in that short time between him taking the scroll and Iruka finding him, he managed to master the shadow clones. And not only master it, but because of his huge chakra reserve, thanks to Kurama, he was able to make all these freaking clones. And that's what made him so dangerous at first, because he really didn't have a lot of skill. He didn't have a lot of techniques. He had shadow clones, but a lot of them. So and then as time goes on, he gets better with jutsu, but he's kind of like Goku in a sense of like he has his trusty Rasengan and the Uzumaki Barrage and Rasen Shurikens. But then he starts having those in combination attacks along with all his clones that he's able to create. Clones pretending to be this, clones pretending to be other people, clones pretending to be skill, moves, and and he's able to just completely, essentially bamboozle everyone. We see that with Zabuza when he has one of his clones, or actually it was him when he transforms into the shuriken. And he kind of hides in the shadow of the actual shuriken. And he was hoping that when Sasuke grabbed it, he'd kind of like, oh wait, okay, I know exactly what I'm doing. And Sasuke ends up figuring out. But there's so many moments to choose from, so many villains to choose from. Like I said, you could easily start with Mizuki and then go to Zabuza. You could focus on Orochimaru since he's a main overarching villain. It would be stupid to focus on like late in the game kind of villains, but Orochimaru kind of shows up in the Chunin exams, so it's not that really far off into the the future of the show or in the manga. Well, the manga is because of the chapters, but in the anime, like he's there in the Chunin exams, and he just becomes his main overarching villain. So I mean, Orochimaru, maybe, or maybe have a story kind of teasing Orochimaru. Have like introduced Kabuto and all of them first, but that would also mean they would also have to involve Jiraiya and Tsunade, or maybe not, because when they first showed up, Tsunade and Jiraiya weren't around. So, again, they popped up during the Chunin exams. But yeah, there's so much they could do with it, but it's not gonna work. If you have a bunch of people working on it who know nothing about the IP, it's doomed to fail. Even with Kishimoto, be like, oh yeah, I've seen his work and I trust it. No, unless Kishimoto is right there, or you have the lore master there saying, hey guys, these are the characters, this is the lore behind all of them, their family and this and that, these are the personalities. It's not going to work, because these people are just going to take it and ruin it for a quick buck, because they're not going to care. Like, oh, people know what Naruto is, people love Naruto, so as long as there's some big flashy effects and a lot of this going on, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, this is Naruto. And then you watch the movie and you hear them say Naruto, even though his name is like said so many times in the show. It'd be like, Naruto. It's like, did they just call him Naruto? You mean Naruto? You hear it all the time in the, Japanese, Naruto. So it's like, why? Sakura! Sasuke! It's just, I'll believe it when I see it. Again, like FNAF worked because Scott worked. He was like, no, it's my way or the highway. You guys can do your thing, but if you don't listen to me, we're not doing this. And he revised the script. He went from one production company to another, and what we got was Five Nights at Freddy's, something that you went to see, and you're like, yep, that's Five Nights at Freddy's. They were able to take a game where you're just sitting there looking at screens, and they turn into a full movie with a story and a plot, characters that weren't in the game, but it felt like Five Nights at Freddy's. The animatronics looked amazing. So if they can do that, they should be fine, but I don't think they will. I think it's just going to be another Dragon Ball Evolution where they just slap the name Naruto on it and think that, oh, it's got fans. They're going to see it regardless. But fans aren't stupid. Well, I can't say that, but especially with Dragon Ball Evolution, people are going to think, this is going to be another Dragon Ball Evolution situation. I'm not going to go see it. I'm not going to go see it. But wait, what? No other director for Naturo? Who's Naturo? Who's Naturo? Naturo. I didn't even notice that because it's spelled right up there. We got Naruto up there, but then Naturo. Is that Naruto's long lost brother? His mom and dad never told him, but he actually has another sibling. His name is Naturo. And he was taken by Orochimaru a long time ago. Anyway, let me know what you think about a live action Naruto. And since I brought up live action in general, when it comes to anime, what live action anime have you seen that's actually really good? If you're a fan of Zelda, would you prefer live action, or would you, like me, prefer like a Mario movie kind of thing where it looks like, you know, as realistic as possible, but still to the aesthetics of the game? What villain would you prefer to see? Do you think it'd be better to have some, like one of those overarching villains like Orochimaru, or would you like to kind of see go in chronological order and be like Mizuki, and then like, you know, going to the land of waves and with Zabuza and Haku, and or, you know, Garo is a big one at that time, you know, in the show for a while, and so we just like to see Gara, but let me know. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.